Shunyavadi Bhakti Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashri Gauravananda Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare.
Om Jnanatimarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisance unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So thank you very much. Last week, we left you all with the prospect to memorize a verse, the Sanskrit and English, or, Sanskrit or English. So is anybody here on the call that would like to share with us what you have learned?
Can I say the Sanskrit for Abrahma Bhuvana Loka?
Yes, please.
Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna Mam Upetya tu Kaunteya Punarjanma Navidyate.
Very good. And do you have the translation down?
Not verbatim.
Okay. All right. Very good. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest. All are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. We identified that verse was quoted a lot, and we also identified some of the other shlokas that we went through. Dukali Amashashvatam is one that you might like to repeat. That's 15. Mam Upekya Punarjanma. Anyways, for those, we'll proceed on to the next verse. We're on 17, and I'll just point out some prominent verses so you can jot them down for the purposes to learn them and memorize them when you get a chance. Okay, good. So text 17. I'm going to do the Sanskrit on this one. Sahasra Yuga Parayandam Ahar Yad Brahmano Vidu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrandam Teho Ratri Vido Jana. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. So in the purport, Prabhupada does talk a little bit about the stretch of time, and whatever we think is long is actually short in respect or in comparison to Brahma's existence. And we mentioned Brahma because he is the first, let's say, mortal being to be in this world. He's also a secondary creator. And one of the measurements of time is called a kalpa. It's interesting that the Buddhists also use this terminology, kalpa. I'm not sure if they go by the same measurement, but they definitely have got all their ideas from the Vedas. Kalpa lasts a long time, and it stretches out to be something significant. It refers to a day of Brahma. And so Brahma's been here for an awful long time, watching, waiting, but we must make a point that he is here temporarily and some other person will take over after 100 years of his existence. So there's something nice about knowing that Brahma's here, just the fact that it gives us some sense of stability, the point that some living entities have been here for a long time and they still are. It provides a little bit of intrigue. Oh my God, somebody, just like when you see those 200-year-old turtles or something, or You see those, like the redwood forest in northern California, petrified forests. They're like trees from the time of Krishna's existence. So it is something of wonder. There's no doubt about that. And so when we look at these figures, I'm not very good at figures. I don't think I was an accountant in my past life, but to do all the multiplication, which is sometimes found in the Vedic literatures, is interesting. And we would just conclude that the world is big, I am small, and whatever I think is major as far as the time factor is concerned is really just minuscule compared to what really does exist out there. The sun and the moon that also offers some kind of tape measure for us have also been in existence for long, and we praise them, these heavenly bodies, because of their long duration, right? Like even today is the appearance day of Advaitacharya, and he lived for over 100 years, about 104 years of age. That's pretty remarkable. I remember meeting one lady in Cape Breton, which is part of Nova Scotia, and she was 104, and she was reciting poetry like this, poems she wrote, and it was very impressive. And her 86-year-old daughter looked older than she looked. Can you imagine a lady who's 86 years old who has a mother? Wow. So much to be said about living long. But whether you have a long span of life or a short one, you can be assured that it is going to come to an abrupt end. Yeah. One of our devotees who started a farm initiative, he has various bulls and cows and sheep and goats. And one of the bulls by the name of Bhakti, he passed away the other day. And before there was a real opportunity to bury him sufficiently, the coyotes got at him, and they ate him clean. There was only bones left at the end after 2 days of being there. Amazing, isn't it? So when you see that kind of thing, you can appreciate I am mortal, I am small, I'm here just for a little while, and I'm like a little firefly. Brahma says that to Krishna. When Brahma was trying to out-mystify Krishna in that pastime with the coward boys, he realized, he came to an epiphany. He said, I'm really just small. I'm like a firefly. And a firefly lights up in the night and then it goes off. Have you ever caught fireflies at night? Keep them in your hand, they light up. And so it's quite amazing. We are just tiny, tiny little creatures of an insignificant quality. We are only significant when we engage in bhakti. So in the next chapter, we're going to find out a little bit about what is it that makes someone great, a Mahatma. It's by dint of devotional service. Even if you do something small. Nihabhikramana shasti pratyavaya nivayate swalpamapasya dharmasya tarayate mahatovayat, from chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. Any little endeavor you make on this path can protect you from fear. Hare Krishna. All right. Anybody have any questions or comments on that?
Yes,
So Maharaj, how long Lord Krishna lived? 124 years?
How long did he live for? Yes, at least around that amount. Yes.
124.
Maharaj, I have a question.
Okay.
In that purport to that first verse that you read, there is causal ocean. What is the meaning of causal? Why is it named a causal ocean?
Can you tell me which word you're talking about, where it's found in the purport?
It's actually in that purport of that verse 17. In the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahma rising and disappearing. So why is it called causal?
Oh, causal. Well, just let me find it first. Tell me where you're looking exactly. Oh, yeah, causal. And the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising. Well, because Brahma first appeared just above the water. You know, he did not appear on land, because we are land creatures. He appeared as from the lotus of the abdomen of Vishnu, and Vishnu is lying on the causal waters. So Brahma did not see land at that time, he saw water. And so this is the origin of Brahma, coming from water, a water area, and the lotus flower is also known to be surviving on water, right? So Brahma, you can say, is affiliated with water, and similarly Vishnu is as well. Yeah, those are interesting points. Mm-hmm. Vishnu is also affiliated with an ocean of milk, and so there's liquid. You know, the various manifestations of God, plenary or partial, they seem to be around liquid. Okay, causal ocean, meaning the cause, the water that causes everything, the water of source, you can say. Anyways, our existence physically is dependent on the birth of Brahma, which is ultimately dependent on the powers of Vishnu. Okay, we don't see the causal waters, but you can see a lake, you can see a river, and this gives you some idea. And generally, we are creatures, we gravitate to the water. We love the water, isn't it? You've all seen those documentaries of African wildlife, and you know, they go through the period of rainy season, then goes through the dry season, and the water holes, they become smaller and smaller and smaller, and all the animals want to, the lions, the zebra, they all come in really close to each other, and they're kind of like watching each other. They're all desperate for water. So we're dependent on water, and our bodies are mainly made of water. That's our constitution mainly. In that sense, we're like a head of lettuce. Our bodies are like lettuce, just lots of water. Okay, let's move on to the next shloka then, please. Would somebody like to volunteer on this one?
Yeah, I can read it.
Please.
At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state, and thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again.
Okay, and connected to that is the next verse. Can you read that verse as well?
Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated.
Okay, great. So this also helps us to get an idea of the measure of time in Brahma's day and Brahma's night. There's a lot of things going on. There's much activity taking place. And we're also part of that manifestation. Vishnu is sleeping, and during his sleep, what we call yoga nidra, he is actually exhaling. And when he's exhaling, comes out all these universes. And from the universes comes many living entities who are embodied. We are in physical forms, and we are here for some time. We die and we take on all various forms, but at one particular time in our existence, we're all going to be, let's say, sucked up by the Lord's inhalation. And we will continue to exist. As we understand in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, we always were, we always will be, and we are now. So as seedlings, we lie there. And sometimes we're physically manifest, and sometimes not. But we are alive. Would somebody like to take the next shloka then, please? 20.
I can do it, Maharaj.
Oh yeah, please. Yeah, there's a big pause there. It's
Yeah.
almost like we're waiting for Brahma to, to get sucked into Vishnu or something like that. Looks like somebody hoping something magical would happen. Go ahead.
Okay, great, thank you. Yet there is another unmanifest nature, which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is.
Good. So from this we can understand, again, it's a theme that has been brought up before. When Krishna describes the components of Prakriti, he talks about earth, water, fire, air, ether, and so on like that. And then he also speaks about aparyam itastvanyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhuta mahabhavu yayedam dharyate jagat. That means that beyond the physical energies, there is something superior, and that is the soul. So beyond the, what we call the Mahatattva, you've probably heard that term, which is the conglomerate of all the material elements, 24 of them mixed together. Beyond that is Vishnu, the supreme prime entity, and his world, which is also eternal and doesn't change. Okay, so maybe you perhaps want to get a little bit familiar with some words if you're not already. Avyakta. There's Vyakta and Avyakta. That appears in the verse that Nitai Priya just read. Vyakto Vyaktat. Sanatana. Sanatana means eternal. So we have got the unmanifest and manifest. And the verse prior says, again and again, Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come. Bhuttagrama Sevayam. Actually, I love these verses. Bhuttagrama, Bhutta Praliyate. So we're talking about time, and when time is measured, it's always in cycles, isn't it? If you go to Niagara Falls, it's an hour and a half from here, they have this big sundial, and that's always been sort of a bit of a tourist attraction. Sundial made of flowers and things like that. Of course, you can't see that now. But so the sun is moving, the moon is moving, and that is the result of a cycle. We are born, we die. That's another cycle, isn't it? We go through a day and we go through a night, another cycle. We go through a minute, and that is also a cycle, a start and a finish, an end. And hence this world is cyclic. Thank God it is. It means that within the realm of karmic activities, we actually have a chance. Like at the end of our life, we are judged. We are actually judged. And we actually have a chance to make good in the next existence. So the fact that everything is circular indicates that we just have another opportunity to improve, as opposed to the linear approach. Linear. I heard one evangelical person, he was criticizing, Vedic or Hindu philosophy. He was saying that everything's just cycle. You're caught in a, karmic wheel. And it says, but we in Christianity, we believe in the linear approach. You go up or you go down. But he was assuming that everyone's going up. But if we actually analyze by on the basis of people's habits, not everybody would go up to heaven. Some people might go down to Kumbhipaka, as we say. So with this cyclic pattern, it means we have a second chance. So to demonstrate God's compassion, he says, oh yeah, you're a nice person, but you made some mistakes. I'm not going to highlight those mistakes, because you made some headway. You have made some effort. Therefore, you are blessed with the new body to do it again, to try it again, to improve. Isn't it nice when you have another opportunity to have a second round, third round,
Oh, yeah.
whatever it takes?
That's our.
Let's see if someone says, you got one chance, buddy. You got one crack at it. And then let's say if you fail, you feel I could do better if I just have a little extra time and we'll practice. So it's very relieving to know that we have this wheel of karma. Very nice to know. I see in your wall you have a clock there, right? Right behind Anantashesh.
Maharaj,
Yes.
I have a question. So, because we have second and third chances, I mean, is there a tendency for people to like, what, I will enjoy now, but I'm that kind of thinking, I will do better the next. I will take this chance to enjoy now.
That might be a trapping that, or let's say a pit that some people fall into. But we also have to remind people that even if you're given another chance, your next chance might be wrought with some problems too, some difficulties. So I believe it's a mixture in our culture, in our philosophy, that, don't take advantage of this God's compassion, the kind heart of God, of Krishna. Take it seriously, because you will suffer. You will go through difficulties. The story is there of Narada Muni. He met the hunter, Mrigari the hunter. And Mrigari means one who takes pleasure in seeing others in pain. Some people get adrenaline from seeing others in pain. They just get excited, get happy when others are going through harshness. And so it was Narada Muni who said, you're half killing these animals. You're releasing an arrow, you're hitting them in a spot that doesn't necessarily kill them, but puts them into severe pain, where they go through a slow death. Narada was saying, why don't you just end it all, be quick and clean about it? So the point is that Narada was saying, now, you're going to suffer for this, right? There's some consequences here. And Mrigari the hunter didn't know about those reactions. So he felt grateful to be enlightened, and he made a change in his ways. So I think it's to get the proper perspective on how nature works. Yes, we may be given a chance to go linear, but we go up into the heavenly planets, we come back down into Martyaloka. And so it is an up and down adventuring, and at the same time we go through the wheels. So it's quite a mix. But if you're connected with a guru, with sadhu, and with shastra, they'll warn you sufficiently that get serious, because the consequences are too severe. You don't want to make mistakes, or not too many mistakes. Right? There's many warnings. There's a whole section on 5th canto, which deals with the hellish existences. One of the last times I went to Cuba, at the airport at Varadero, they wanted to see what was in my box. I said, box, philosophy, India, this is meant for India embassy. And so there were about 6 people there at the table. They saw me and they thought it was different. And they wanted to know what I'm carrying in the box. So they said, open. They didn't know much English. Open. It sounded like Tarzan, open. So I opened it up and then they started to look at it a little bit like a dog that goes to his head. What is this? And I don't make fun of the Cuban people. I love them, but these security people are sometimes a little too much. So there was a whole set of the Bhagavatams there. And I was just praying to Krishna, I hope the 5th canto is not on the top, because when they see some of the illustrations of the hellish planets, they might think I'm some kind of satanic cult member coming into the country. So lo and behold, no, the 5th canto was not at the top. It was somewhere in the bottom. I just pulled out one book. They say open again. And then they looked at it. They saw the Devanagari script. And they couldn't understand English, so they continued to be bewildered. And then they said, what, they want to know, demand to know what is in these books. And I said, the books on yoga. And that broke the ice. Oh, yoga. Oh, yoga. Oh, yeah, yoga. Okay. I wrapped up my box, and it was kind of a tense moment there. I thought I might be held up for some while and they might look at the book, and that is the books. Okay, so heaven and hell.
Maharaj, I have one question.
Yeah.
In the family, we have children, right? And sometimes children go through some sufferings, sometimes ill, sometimes they have some demand, doesn't happen, depressed. Would the parents say do some kind of prayers? Parents would do those things which will help. Would their children karma get reduced because of the parents worshipping?
Sure. Prayer is powerful. Prayer is one of the 9 processes of bhakti yoga, and it depends on how you're praying. Let's say your son and daughter, they're pretty sinful, they're bad kids, So, and you're praying, please keep them going so they can continue with their sinful life. Really the best prayer is something like this. When it comes to composing prayers, as devotees, bhakti yogi practitioners, we have to consider, one of the better prayers is, my dear Lord, my child is going through some difficulty. Whatever it is that you want to have happen, it is up to you entirely, but please give my child the strength to be able to cope with whatever you give them. Instead of trying to remove their misery, which only puts them into a happy condition where they take up some bad habits. So think about the kind of prayers you're putting out there. Think about your composition. Think about the contents of your prayer. And if you always put it out like that, my dear Krishna or Vishnu, whatever you want, it's really in your hands. You are in charge. You're the Ishvara, the controller. Please give some strength. Please allow some bhakti, the seed, bhakti lata beej, to be implanted in the heart of my child so that they will be able to be a stronger individual and increase their bhakti and their love for you. So that kind of a prayer definitely sits more in the realm of selflessness, as opposed to saying, God, you got to help me. These are my kids, they're mine, and you got to be nice to me. So I've been nice to you. It's all about attitude. What is the attitude behind your prayer?
Thank you, Maharaj.
So do you understand? We're trying to say in our prayers, my Lord, whatever you want, it's really up to you. But please allow for your own enjoyment and for your own pleasure. I would like to see, like my children, become better devotees, so we live in a better world. Like that, to really What is your intent? Think about your intent behind your prayer. It's easy to say, God, you have to help me get rid of my arthritis, my rheumatism. I've got cancer. I've got this. I've got trouble with my woman. I got trouble with my man. My kids are giving me all kinds of problems. There's so many hiccups in life, you know. So instead of trying to ask for an alleviation of these problems, ask for a better, you know, a greater inner power to be able to deal with the heavy weighted karma that has come my way.
Yeah,
So
thank you, Maharaj.
you know, one day we could talk about prayer, but prayers are about goodness, compassion, and ignorance. You can analyze it like that.
Mhm.
Anything else, Prabhus? Okay, let's go to 21 then. Would somebody like to volunteer?
Yeah.
That, yeah, Maharaj, that which the Vedas describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode.
Yeah, very good. So some of the key words that you might like to take note of, jot down are, and that are repeated again and again. Parangatim, the supreme destination, that's in there. Avyakta, we already pointed to you that word. Gatim means destination, okay? And Paramgatim or Paramam, which refers to the spiritual abode, not this world, not in this domain. No. Okay, so. Okay, here once again, I just want to bring to your attention, it is said, when you go to this Parangatim, supreme destination, you never return again to this world. Several times Krishna has brought this point up. Once you go there, you will never come back to this mundane existence. Of course, it may be possible that we come back to the world of Marja, you know, the Marja Loka, place of death. But it's not likely. Practically, it does not happen. Okay, next verse.
Mm.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes,
I
go
read
ahead.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him.
Okay. Would anybody like to offer to give a little purport on this one, give a little explanation? I'll put you on the hot seat. Like what I'm asking is paraphrase it a little bit if you don't mind, okay?
So it seems from this verse that Krishna is super soul in everyone's heart. He's very close to us, but at the same time, he can be very much away from our consciousness because he can only be attained by unalloyed pure devotion. So
Yes.
it's not an automatic thing that because Krishna is in our heart that we are conscious of him all the time, or that he reveals himself all the time. Not available if we don't show any devotion.
Great. Yes, very nice. Yeah, the emphasis here, the major theme is found in the word bhaktya, bhakti, devotion. And that earns us a place in the spiritual realm. Another point here is what's mentioned here. He's found everywhere. That's a theme we've also explored quite a bit. From chapter 7, we were hearing about God, how he appears in so many different elements. Okay, and then 23. Somebody who hasn't had a chance. What about Arjuna?
Can I, Maharaj?
Sure.
O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different time at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at some verses which will, we can appreciate that it's about destiny again. And it has something to do with, will I come back into this world, this existence? Now, the other day I was talking to a yogi friend of mine. He's not necessarily part of the ISKCON society, but he has been practicing yoga for decades, actually. Has lived in India. He's a Jewish Canadian chap, you know. And we were just talking about the way the world is. And I basically said that I really didn't mind coming back into this world again. I wouldn't mind doing it all over again, what I went through, especially from age 20 on. You know, it's been like close to like 49 years of, you know, being a devotee. The first 20 years, I take it or leave it. But when I think about all the things that I went through in my first 20 years, I have to attribute a lot of those things to leading me to the lotus feet of Krishna. So I was saying to my yogi friend, I would do it over again. I'm a happy person. He said, oh, are you kidding me? He said, I don't want to come back into this screwed up world. He kept going on. You know, this place sucks. You know, he was saying in his own words. And he said, well, when you take up you accept the seed of bhakti, you start to see a different spin on life, you know. It becomes more joyful. There's this ananda feature. And so you don't mind some of the pinpricks of material existence. Everybody probably would use that term, pinprick. You know, like a pin. It's so insignificant, you can hardly see it. But if you put it on the edge of your skin, you know, you'll definitely jump, you'll scream, you go, ow, at least, or ouch. So life is full of pinpricks. You know? And, you know, so some people have that attitude. Now, I'd love to get out of here. I don't want to be back in this existence. But the point is that we are guaranteed a bright future when we engage in devotional service. Unalloyed. Unalloyed, that means clean steel. No other metals are mixed into it. It's pure, clean steel, unalloyed steel. So unalloyed devotion. Any points that you'd like to raise, Prabhu? For our last 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to explore now what, in terms of destiny, what happens with the different physiological, astrological conditions in the atmosphere. Like everybody knows that when it's a full moon, strange things happen, isn't it? The wolves will make their sound if you can hear them, at least the coyotes. And if you talk to the police departments, they'll say, oh, it's a full moon, some strange things are going to happen. We'll be very busy. So apparently there's considered to be situations where if you leave at a certain time, leave this body, you'll enter into something auspicious or inauspicious. You know, so let's look at that a little bit. Can I get a volunteer for 24?
I can read it, Maharaj.
Okay, go for it.
those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery God in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north.
Okay, so now it gets a little technical here, and we don't want anybody to get scared, uh, about this portion of the Gita. But I would like to emphasize that when you're immersed in devotion, Krishna will look after you. He takes personal interest in your destination point. He'll have a special caring eye on you and a special hold on you. So we don't need to necessarily worry about all these particular technical things, because some people would get a little bit fearsome. It says, oh, I can't die now, the full moon's out, or I can't, the conditions aren't right. Wait, hold on, wait. No one's guaranteed to leave at an auspicious moment. But what is all auspicious is when your mind is on the Supreme Lord, regardless of the weather condition. Like, who would really want to die during a Floridian hurricane, stuck and getting hit by a tree or something like that, that flew in the air and knocks you out. So we don't necessarily have to worry about those things so much. It's more about the condition of the consciousness, what counts, that determines your destiny. Good. So 25, along the same theme. Who hasn't had a chance yet?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Sorry.
I just had a question with regards to destiny. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So, we kind of always hear that, for the most part, Krishna is actually in control of everything, and we don't really have much control over anything. So I just wanted to kind of pick your thoughts on that and see how much of our life is actually predestined and how much do we actually have control. Maybe you could expand on that.
Well, I can't give you percentages. Whether 50% is under my control. Can you hear me?
We can't hear you very well. We can't hear you well.
It always happens at the same time, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
So let me see what happens when I put this.
Now it's working.
Go back.
Now it's good.
Now it's working. Oh, that's because I jiggled something. That's why.
Now it's not.
You can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Because I'd like to know the mystery, why it happens like that at the same time every week that we go through. Maybe it's weak Wi-Fi and something like that. I don't know. Maybe it gets used a lot at some certain time of the day. Okay. So Mandala Ram was asking about how much control do we really have in our life? How much is predestined and so on. I would say, a portion is, Krishna knows exactly what's going to happen to us, but we're not privy to that. We are not. He can see into the future. That he states clearly. I know all that's happening in the future, all that was in the past, and all that's going on now. Some monks, what is it? Krishna says, Varitamani Arjuna he says that I know everything past, present, and future. You do not. Okay, so it's in the hands of Krishna, but he's simply allowing us to play out our role. He's testing to see, do we love him? Do you really love me? Just like lovers, they ask each other, do you really like me? Do you love me? you know, because I love you. So a conditioned soul is not always quite concerned about, not always fully certain, do I really love Krishna? It's not possible because being very bewildered. I think we all deep down inside would love to love him deeply. But tests are made to see how much we love him. So therefore, we're put through situations where we have to make decisions, hard ones. And when the hard decisions come about, are you on board with Krishna? Are you feeling that, is he just giving you a little training test? Yeah. Is he just slapping you around? Or is he really just, giving you a little bit of a love bite, by putting you through some difficulty? So devotees have to remain very strong, and then you're in control. You have an opportunity to control your senses and to not cater to the whims of Maya. That shows that you have some control over your destiny. So this is what's unique about bhakti. You accept tapasya. You accept an inconvenience for the sake of building character. Then you're in control. Then you become a master, more of an Ishvara than you could imagine. Of course, ultimately, Krishna is in control, but he gives you lots of opportunities to either become weak or to become a strong individual. So we do have some freedom, because the issue is really about freedom to choose. And we've given the example in the past. If you're in an airplane, you have a decision. You can decide whether to read the flight magazine, whether to talk to the flight attendant, or whether to have a nap, or to watch the movie Avatar on the screen, or to read Prabhupada's book. You have choices. So many. When you think about them, there's so many choices are there, but in a limited way. Brahma, he has at his disposal so much, ample space, ample opportunity for enjoyment. Same thing with Indra. But they are also limited by their desires. So it's really your desires that are self-centered that kind of lock you in to a kind of a prison. So freedom only comes from when you align yourself with the will of Krishna. Then you have so much freedom. Then there is, let's say, when if you're asking about destiny, then wow, you are with Krishna, and there's no independence. So make your alignment with him. And this is the meaning of bhakti, to cooperate with his will.
Maharaj,
Yes.
in regard to the same subject, I understand that our destiny versus free will, the free will is being able to choose Krishna in any given moment. That's where our free will is. But being that Krishna knows all things past, present, and future, he knows the choices we're going to make. Mm-hmm. He knows when we're going to choose him, when we're not. So in that sense, that's kind of like the catch-22 of, is it destiny? Is it, being that he knows when we're going to choose him. And I'm sure he's very kind and tries to align things in such a way that we always have opportunities to come back to him. But I'm just wondering how we can, if we're meant to wrap our heads around it, or how we can wrap our heads around him knowing exactly what our choices will be. And yeah.
Well, just like we have the sun, and it's one of the heavenly bodies, and it looks down upon so many places on planet Earth, what to speak of other places. It has its eye on so many directions. So some or other we have to play with that eye. You know, if the sun is a little too strong, you know, go to a semi shining area, or you know, when he decides to actually go beyond the horizon, which happens pretty much every day, then that's our time to reflect more on him. But the sun is always there. So I think that's one example of what we can give, how the sun very much determines, you know, that the snow will melt, or it's maybe going to be a sun that's very distant where it won't be like that. There's a personality there in the sun. So what to speak of the Supreme Master who's watching over everything. So we just again have to respect that great power which we call the sun, and in this case we're talking about Krishna. Let him direct the drama, right? Let him direct the play. And like if you were ever, I know Nitai Priya, you've directed a play before, right? So you've back in Mayapur, and when I couldn't come because I was not in a position to come to India that year. So you have all these actors to work with, and some of them are a little more easy to direct than others, isn't it? So the ones that are kind of basically accept the directions will end up being the greater star in the production. So it's all a matter of cooperation. And does that answer part of the question or your concern?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes. Thank you.
Or do you want to go a little further with that?
No, I think that's fine if someone else has something to say. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I was going to say regarding what she was talking about, that the famous statement of Srila Prabhupada, when he says that you take one step towards Krishna, he's going to take 10 towards you, but you have to take the first one because he's the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yes.
he will have.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that first step means coming closer to try to understand, you know, his will, his wish, his desire. Yeah. Because again, Krishna has a hold on the entire production. He knows what he wants to see out of this whole display of, you know, karmic interaction, and you know, he's got an idea of what's to come, and we don't. All we have to do is just simply, you know, make our submission, our take that surrendered attitude, and then the production will go on. If everyone goes there every which way, that's the biggest problem. Everybody wants to be the director. I've been in plays too where someone comes in and says, "Excuse me, Prabhu, you've done this the 10th time now. You know, if you want to." Sometimes you meet difficult people, and you just have to say, "Listen, there's going to be one director. I don't mind taking some suggestions from you, but please don't direct while I'm directing. Thank you very much. Appreciate it." Step to the side. Yeah, and the living entity might have a better idea than Krishna. So then it's all in how you approach the director, right? Krishna, I was thinking, yes, yeah, maybe we could approach it from a different angle. Okay, all right, maybe we could try that. It's all in our approach in life. Are you coming with a straw in your teeth, or are you just a proud peacock?
Wow.
Maharaj, on that note, so if Krishna knows our future, where is the question of free will come?
Well, we brought that up before, and I think that's the topic we're on. You have free will, but it's limited. Just like you're sitting in your house, okay? You have freedom there, but you're in a very constricted way. You can decide to get up, walk across the room, go to the fridge, and pick up some hummus and a piece of bread and have a nice little snack. Or you can just decide to sit back on your chair and close your eyes and go for a little nap, or what Prabhupada called snap. Prabhupada used to say, take a snap.
I mean, we take walking for granted, Maharaj. We know.
Okay.
So I'm sorry for the follow-up question. What I'm saying is, if Krishna knows what I'm going to be doing in the next moment, how is my free will, if I chose to do something else, why is Krishna not preventing me from doing that, getting onto that free will path, if he knows I'm supposed to go the other path?
Well, again, it's simply a test of love, once again, If we follow codes in life, which we call dharma, and what Prabhupada called rules and regulations, they called them rules and regulations of freedom. That's how he translates it. So if you follow some strictures, some discipline based on just what's good for you, what you ought to do, then you'll find a happier end. But if we choose to act whimsically, and if you look at chapter 16 in the Bhagavad Gita, sometimes we use the word demoniac, and it's a little strong, too hard for people to handle. So you can see the word whimsical. When you do things whimsically, means haphazardly. You're not taking any direction based on the codes that you should live by. Then, you run into difficulties. So live by some codes. The terms that Prabhupada uses is that regulative principles, or what else? Prescribed duties. That's the term. Follow one's prescribed duties within your varna and your ashram to the best of your ability. Right. So you've got some restrictions. You're male. You're not female. You are father. You are husband. You have pharmaceutical skills, education. So you have all these strengths. So live in the mode of following those particular codes, which has been directed to you, and then you will end up on a happier note in life. So, you have some people really thrive on the so-called freedom of I can do whatever I like, but that's really a dangerous scenario. Better to live by direction with structure. Most people like structure. They like to be given some kind of guidance. Therefore, guru is there. Therefore, mom and dad are there. When we're young, some direction. We live by some direction, and then, and if we don't go by direction, then there will be some correction. So we've gone to our time limit now, Bruce. I would like to thank you all. I hope it was somewhat helpful, this discussion we had today.
It's a very thought-provoking topic, actually.
Thought-provoking, good. Sure, sometimes we don't want to just talk at you, we want to talk with you, right? I hope that it was all fine for you, Prabhu's, and that we got somewhere in our little exploration of the Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Check out.
Thank you.
It's
very
Hare Krishna. Namo Namaha. Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for your association.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. You
Thank you.
too.
Krishna.
May Krishna bless you all with happiness and the best of bhakti.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Punita
Nice
Priya.
question from you. Thank you.
Nice questions from everybody. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol Tayani, thank you for attending.
No problem. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wow, that was nice. What are you?
Is that Avatar?
No, Avatar is not here, somebody
It's
else.
the baby. No, it's the baby. That's his baby, no?
Hare Krishna Markandeya Rishi Prabhu, thank you very much.
Mandara was there.
Yeah. Haribol Arjuna. ¿Cómo
Arjuna,
estás?
Haribol.
Escucha, todo bien. Ustedes.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa?
Is that the only thing you know?
Still no pasa nada. Here we call not pasa nada because it's cold.
See, we will say all our Spanish. ¿Cómo está? ¿Qué pasa?
Muy bien, ¿qué tal?
Oh, you know a little more.
I
Please
don't know.
come.
She knows more because she used to interact with the Spanish people while at work. But I don't know much.
I was like working as a commission-based sales, selling things. And then most of my customers were Spanish speaking.
Ah,
But then if you learn Spanish, you can actually sell more. So you're like automatically put in a position to learn Spanish, I know
Yeah, I mean,
it says, I forgot, 25 is 48, something like that.
no, 25.
25. No?
26.
25, 48 is 48.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that. So I learned some of the numbers, you know.
that's good. Yeah, Spanish people are very they're like heartwarming. They'll buy more than basically Indians. Indians won't buy you
Oh,
anything.
no. No, actually, it was a timeshare company, right?
Ooh.
So Indians were not allowed to go there. So you can imagine. Basically, these people are enticing people to come there and take a, look at the timeshare operation
Okay.
with the hope that they will buy. But and therefore, because it is costing them money, they'll give them breakfast or something. So then it is costing them money. It's a way of advertisement. Then it's costing them money, and Indians never buy anything. So they told us, no, we don't want Indians coming here. No, when people from Venezuela, everybody else is okay.
I used to wait tables, and whenever I see Indian people at my table, I'm like, forget it, no tips.
No tip for you. No tip for you. Yeah.
Not buy.
The best tippers are from New York. People from New York are the best tippers. When we find that, oh, where are you guys from? Oh, we are from New
Prabhu,
York. Then we just like,
forget all that.
okay.
Forget all that. Just Americans in general are so much nicer, My neighbor, just my neighbor. I'm not talking about a devotee. Our neighbor came to us and gave us some money when my husband was in the hospital. Because he was in the hospital, they knew we had children and there was no income coming. So my neighbor came inside, asked me, and whenever my window was up, like she would be like concerned. Do you have money to pay the electricity bill? That's why you don't use AC, things like that. I was like, so sweet of them,
Wow.
Gave me so much groceries one day. Anyway, Americans are very good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Indians, no.
So I
Yeah,
can
like
when people come from Europe, in Europe, the waiters, they are on salary, not on tips, right? So we
yeah.
don't, the Europeans come, we'll be like, no, like Europeans, Indians, and then women are bad
Hey,
tippers.
are you ready to go?
So if it's
Hello,
women,
Gopal.
and also I'm not being a racist. African Americans
I didn't
also
see the
bad
text. So
tippers.
should I come now? Okay, I will come. Is Giri there?
Yeah, it's
After some time, you kind of figure
All right.
out
Okay, I
what
have to
kind.
go pick up Gopal. Sorry, he is playing tennis. I
okay.
have to go now.
Hello.
I'm here.
Hare Krishna.
I'm here. So after a few years, you figure out what kind of paper tape you bore.
That's the truth. It's, everybody has a different culture, but
Yeah, it's because sometimes when we see Europeans, because they don't know the system here.
yeah,
Here, the waiters, they survive on tips. No, it's not included in their salary. So they don't know that. But sometimes when we see Europeans, we just go to the managers. Hey, can we put a 15% tip on the check? Manager said, no, we cannot discriminate like that. So you give and then it's very hard, when you don't get much tips, you feel very hard because that is your earning, your livelihood,
yeah, yeah. It's
But New Yorkers, Prabhu, New Yorkers, the people up north, very good.
best, number one best.
As soon as, so first thing, one question, so where you guys from? That is the first question we have.
You're like, oh, you're Indian. Like, oh no.
I was working in Orlando. There's a tourist Disney area, so a lot of tourists came, So the tourist people, a lot of from outside the country. Most of the people, most of the outside country, the waiters are on salary, not tips alone. So they kind of assume we get our money salary. No.
Prabhu, there is also a philosophical aspect with that. The Indians, they might look cheap, but actually the reality is that they have so much appreciation for Lakshmi Devi. They're not going to waste it or, just.
At that time, Lakshmi Devi is what I want.
No, but they are more careful. That's what because look at Prabhupada. Prabhupada, they found the books of Prabhupada when he was in Vrindavan before he came to India, in the States. And they found that Prabhupada was recording even the paisas that he was spending. Now somebody would say, was Prabhupada cheap? No, Prabhupada had so much respect for Lakshmi that he wanted to know exactly, and so he trained also his disciples to be like that, to be respectful and to be careful, not to waste it. And then basically, like Indra Prabhu used to say, oh, your Guru Maharaj, he loves money. They used to say in India. But yes, it's true. Prabhupada said, I love money. Give it to me because I know how to spend it. Because he spent everything for Krishna, who is the Madhava.
Yeah, account keeping was perfect.
He's the Lord of Lakshmi Devi, Madhava. You spend for him, and then she's happy. So that's another. Somebody can say, yes, they're cheap, but they also don't want to waste. And that's another
It's
perspective.
because they don't know the system, that's why. The system in the US is 15% tip, okay service. If you are very happy, more than 15%. But this system is not, it's like any knowledge, they are ignorant of their own knowledge, So when they come here without the knowledge, they act according to their conditioning,
That's there, but there is also another reason that the giver of work injects that mentality, and it's a rule around the country that you tip 50%, 15 or 10%, because they want to pay them less.
Yeah.
If they pay them enough, then there's no question of put such a rule. And it should not be a rule anyway, because if you please me, then automatically I'll give you 10% or more. But if you are horrible and you're not serving properly, then why should I give you, sometimes you see that the waiter or the waitress, it looks like that you must serve them because they are so puffed up, they're so proud and arrogant. And then you still have to give 10% or 15% to somebody that is such a rascal.
No, if they
You
ask,
know what I'm saying?
better not give it, just show them,
For example,
Yeah.
in India, people, they don't tip. But when I was going to some restaurants around India, and I find somebody that was so nice and so sweet, I gave automatically. Somewhere else was somebody, the guy was just throwing the plate in my face. I wouldn't do anything. you know. And sometimes, I remember I was in Madurai, such a great temple, Meenakshi temple. And we went to a restaurant, and there was this little kid. He was maybe 80 years old, imagine. And he was working as a waiter because he needs to work. But the boy was so sweet and so beautiful that he reminded me of Krishna. And then I gave him so much that he was looking at the money. I said, "What is this? You already paid the bill." Because I gave him the same amount. I think it was 150 rupees. And I gave him 100 rupees. And the kid is looking, what is this? But I was so pleased, even just looking at him, because he was so cute. He reminded me of Krishna, dark and those beautiful big eyes. But anyway,
So after my US conditioning, when I go to visit India and I go with my friends to a restaurant, you tend to tip a little bit more because this is what you also get. So my friends are like, "Why are you giving so much?" No, I'm like, "It's okay." You have to see that,
But anyway,
Nobody
generosity
give
is
them.
always
Nobody
good.
give them. Yeah.
Generosity is good because even if you have to come back,
I forgot to ask Maharaj about next week. Next Thursday is the Nityananda Thursday, right? So we'll find out if we have this. I doubt we'll have the Bhagavad Gita next Thursday.
It's
Next Thursday is Nityananda Wednesday. He's saying they might
I don't know if
cancel.
is that. I don't think he'll cancel because they don't have anything going on unless they open the temple.
Anyway, we'll ask by email and find out.
we
even
might
today-
have to keep it down here in Gainesville and also in Alachua Temple.
Alachua, there is like evening people come for prasadam around this time from 4:30 to from 5 to 6, something like that.
And they might make a feast here. So
You're
And
making a feast?
is today for you the appearance day of Advaita Acharya?
Yes.
And so they have Abhishek in the. I mean, I don't know if they have Panchatattva there, but they have some festival going on.
I think they have Abhishek on Nityananda Thursday by Zoom.
Okay.
Nothing today. Advaita Acharya Thursday, it is they don't have a feast or something like that. But it just so Arjuna, you guys have something going on next Thursday?
Are you there?
Yeah, I think he froze.
Do you have something going on next Thursday? Feast, you said?
He's talking to you, Arjun.
Oh, us?
Yes.
Is it me or you talking to you?
Yeah, not to you.
Maybe I don't know for sure. Maybe I think so, but I don't know. Might just be some prasadam or maybe kirtan because we do have kirtan here.
Yeah.
And do you have a temple?
Huh?
Do you have a temple there in Gainesville?
Yeah, Prabhupada himself came here.
Yeah, it's called a preaching center, a small temple geared mostly for the university population.
And do they have Vigraha there?
It's called Goditai, right?
Oh,
yeah,
Goditai
is here. We have Mangalarti every day, Tusi Puja.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got Jagannath also, right?
Huh?
Jagannath, Subhadra, Baladev also.
They were here before, but they take him out because they were just here for the Hatha Yatra.
Okay.
I forgot his name, but he lives next to the temple, and he came and got him because they were just here. They were not doing anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So he took him for the Hatha Yatra. I forgot his name, but You probably know him. He lives next to the temple.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I forgot his name also. It'll come to me later.
yeah. So right now we just have Gornitai.
So you have somebody living there constantly, like a pujari and devotee.
Oh yeah. We have pujaris. We have kirtan, like 3-hour kirtan Saturday from 6 to 9. We have prasad distribution daily, Monday to Friday. I cook for like 400 people right now. So
Whenever Maharaj comes, he spends one day, one program there at the Krishna house. Yeah, it's we go for like a morning program. I like the Bangalati time at Krishna house at 6 o'clock. I like that very much.
Yeah, it's towards more for new people. So like, I mean, they always make devotees here. So yeah, it's I think it's pretty nice because like it trains them to come here and and get prepared and for spiritual life.
Remember one day I told you I drove, so I was late for the 6 o'clock thing, and I drove Maharaj so fast. Right at 6 o'clock, I just slammed my brake and reached in front, and Maharaj looked at me and just you went inside.
How long is the drive from Alachua to Gainesville?
20 to 25 minutes in the morning, early morning.
Hmm.
But what he does is he starts walking earlier in the dark. He'll start walking. So I'll pick him up like 20 minutes later. He'll be walking. The roads are very narrow. There's no footpath. So he'll be walking on the side of the road at night, like when it's dark. Kind of dangerous though.
So what is it, like 20, 30 kilometers?
Yeah, something like that.
I'd say something like that maybe. Takes around 30 minutes. If 25, 30 minutes.
It's right in the town. So as we live in the outside suburbs. So when you are approaching the time, you start slowing down a little bit more and more. You work in the morning, But I was driving like a crazy man, and Maharaj did not say anything. He just gave me a look. When I slapped the brake, he went like this. Hey, that was the time you took him to the springs, remember?
Yeah. I took him to the springs. It was really nice. I thought we were gonna go in a floaty thing. He's like, floaty? I'm not taking that. We're gonna go swimming. And I was like, okay. Yeah, it was very nice because the water is very cooling. So you jump in there and you swim all the way. The only bad thing is that there was like a hurricane in 2017, and the hurricane kind of took down a lot of trees, and they ended up in the water. So they're still there. And every time you swim, you can't really see anything. You hit the trunks.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, it was worth it because you swim with Maharaj. So.
So I guess you must be a great chef.
And he swam by himself a long distance.
Hey, Arjun, I think you must be a great cook.
Nah, I'm still learning. Every time I used to be a little puffed up, but every time somebody cooks here, they're so much better than me. And I'm like, there you go.
He's being very modest. He cooks pretty good. We like it. Especially the Wednesday and Friday is what we like.
Oh, you have different menus. Or you do this? Yeah. Oh, so you don't do the same thing every day?
No, I wish. No, it'll be boring otherwise. But yeah, every day is different.
And you cook 7 days a week?
Huh?
7 days a week?
No, 5. 7 days will kill me. I need a book.
And the other 2 days?
I just relax. I don't really do anything.
No, but who cooks? The other 2 days, who cooks?
They have different cooks.
Oh, okay.
There's a breakfast cook. Like right now and dinner, nobody does anything. They used to do snacks before, but people were complaining that it was too heavy or whatever, and then they said, okay, no snacks. So
devotee from Mayapur came there. They have.
Do you have
now
any-
we have, oh, excuse me, sorry, Krishna.
There's
So,
always so much left over, right, after Krishna lunch?
yeah, yeah.
and
I
what do you
mean,
do?
eat them if you like, or eat something else. They also have snacks and some other things. But
And what do you do with the leftover? What they do?
they eat them or they throw them away or something. They used to get into the pigs, but the sanctuary,
Hmm.
but the people who used to come and get the things to the pig, they don't come anymore. Oh,
Hmm.
they also feed the homeless before, but the homeless, since the COVID, we stopped doing that because the trays, they used to get special trays, and we can't be exchanging those trays, and it's a different thing because of COVID. But yeah,
Makes sense.
Prabhu, do you still give it to the nursing staff and everything, the shants?
we are very short staffed here, so like when we were doing that, like in when we first started Christian lunch, it used to be called Christian lunch to go, but now we are just serving it. You don't like you come like you used to come, just put a mask on, you buy it, you say what you want, we make a box for you and you take it. But before it used to be, you know, like you come and you get it, and that's it, you leave. But I don't know, COVID changed everything. So
For the amount of plates they make, Prabhu, the kitchen is very small actually.
yeah, it's a very, very, very small kitchen. It's like a closet.
Yeah, for what they do there actually.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have helpers or you do everything by yourself?
I do everything by myself. My wife comes and helps me sometimes.
Hmm. Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of work. It's very heavy.
Everything, no?
And what time you start?
At 5,
Yeah, wow, yeah. It has to be ready.
I mean, I started a little early. You can say because like today I was a little late for the class because like I get there at 4, but sometimes they're cleaning the kitchen because there's a lot of like dirty dishes and you gotta clean them. So when they're done, then I get in the kitchen and I gotta prepare the mix to the halva. I gotta prepare the what's it called? I gotta bring everything in, like a lot of boxes of chickpeas, black beans, boxes of rice, like 100 pounds rice, more than 100 actually tomorrow. But yeah, that's what it is. And if I don't do that, I gotta do that tomorrow, and it's gonna just take at least an hour just doing that. So yeah.
But do they pay you a salary or is full service?
No, they have to pay me. If they don't pay me, then nobody's gonna do it because it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
that is actually a paid position. They also gave a place for them to stay. It's
Mhm.
actually a paid position.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
Makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Fair
guess
enough.
there's nobody who's gonna do this service. It's just too
Yeah,
much.
it's too
It's
much.
draining.
Yeah. It's you are inside there for what, 6 hours a day?
No, you can say like 4 maybe.
Because now you are more expert.
Oh yeah, I mean before I used to be there till 11 something, almost 12. But
Yeah.
now I got the experience and now I try to do it fast so I can get out of there. Because it's very hot. Remember I had the hot heating issues,
Yeah.
but I'm drinking more water now. I'm doing celery juice. It's helping me.
Oh, that's
So
great. It's very cooling. Yeah.
yeah, and I taking cold water showers with mint soap, mint shampoo, all that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, every day, you know, little by little. So
Yeah, that's great. Sounds great.
so
because
when are you going to come down and visit Krishna House and Arachua? Come during the winter. That's a good time to escape.
Oh my God.
Love to.
You know, I have a friend in Texas. You know, Texas is going through a whole winter storm.
Oh yeah.
So many people were lost power and say they had snow and everything. So yesterday, yeah, one of my friends in Texas, he sent me a WhatsApp a joke showing a picture of the weather report. and everywhere but Florida, everybody is freezing. And he said, "This is National Florida Hate Day." Hate-
Hey, it is what it is. I mean,
yeah,
we didn't,
we pay the price in about 4 months. We pay the big price.
yeah, everybody hates Florida now, even the president. So like, crazy president. It's okay.
No, Maharaj does not like to come during July, August, September, that time, because
It's hot.
it's so hot and
Yeah.
buggy, so much bugs.
So you have the air condition on 24 hours a day in that season.
Actually, they turned the air conditioner on yesterday, and I'm like, turn it off,
No, in the summer when it's really hot, it's
Oh
on
yeah,
24,
oh yeah,
24 hours.
Yeah, let's just stop.
non-stop. But in our house, my wife gets cold very quick, so we keep it around 78 Fahrenheit. Otherwise, it makes a big deal about it. He's like, I'm so hot, and he just brings it down. So whenever he's not home, we just hoping that he steps out of the house, either to turn the heat up or turn the AC down.
I can't do it. I gotta keep it really cold, especially at night.
But I mean, I've heard, I don't know if it's true, that sleeping in a air conditioned room is really not good for health.
Yeah, that is true. I've heard that too.
I heard it too, but I can't really go to sleep.
There is some scientific explanation behind it.
Only gets a lot of heat.
Makes sense, yeah. Otherwise, you cannot even
It's
sleep.
fake. It's fake cold, but like right now it's almost 80 degrees here. Right now,
Yeah,
it's really
it is.
so like for me to go to sleep, I can't go to sleep in this weather. I won't be able to, and I gotta wake up early tomorrow to cook.
But you know what? It is this during this weather is when when it's 80, 85 snakes you start seeing snakes outside. I hate snakes.
You said stinks?
Snakes.
Oh, the
Oh
snake.
yeah, we have those too here. Yeah.
But those are those poisonous snake or just
Venomous snake? Yeah, we have some venomous snakes.
are.
Rattlesnakes.
Oh,
we have-
But mostly non-poisonous rat snake.
Yeah, yeah. They're mostly not venomous, but we have some.
For me,
we have-
all snakes are poisonous. As soon as I see them, I'm like, ah! So Aravind is like, so what? We are in Florida. I'm like, come on, man. When I
No,
see snake, it bothers me for the rest of the day. My whole day is ruined.
Yeah.
But in Kerala, you have more snakes than in Florida.
Cobra.
Cobra, yeah.
But somehow we hear all these snake stories. We're conditioned to be afraid of them,
I bet. Yeah, the snakes here are not. I mean, some of them are pretty bad, but like if you don't really bother them, I guess it would be okay. As long as you see them far away.
Yeah, as soon as they hear sound, they just go away. But as soon as you see them go away, you start go like that. I have a neighbor. It was a kid. He's a grown up now. He used to carry snakes for his pets. So whenever we see snake, we'll call him. Hey, come get the snake. He used to keep snakes in his house, as pets. But they are good. People say the non-poisonous snakes are good for pest control because they eat all the bugs and rats and everything.
That's good. We can send some of the snakes to Canada.
By me, when I see the snake, it's like, oh my God. My wife also. Sometimes when you open the door, all of a sudden you hear a sound and you see something going like that. The snake is.
See, that's the good thing of being in Canada.
They go inside the house.
Of course, I mean,
No snake.
no, I mean, I'm sure in the mountains they have, but when they're gonna come out? Only in the summer for a short time. That's very short. Just like now, in the winter you can see coyotes.
Okay, for that the winter no problem, right?
Because they're hungry. They're looking for food. And then in the spring, the grizzly bears they start to come out. But of
Ooh,
course,
that's worse.
not in the city. Forget it. We're talking about in the mountains.
Okay. I mean, if you see them at sea, they probably have a taxi or something, right? The cab.
But sometimes at the edge of the city, they see cougar, you
Oh,
know,
that's dangerous.
and we saw close to our house a deer last year in the summer. So deer, yeah, you see very often.
Yeah, we have deer nearby. We live in a forest, so we always, when I drive, we see deers and the children crossing the road.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, but deers don't follow. They're only bad if you have a garden. They come and eat all your garden vegetables, everything.
Yeah, I hear that.
But when did you move from Santo Domingo to Florida?
I was born in New York, and I was living there since like I think 7 or 5. Then I went to Dominican Republic. Then I went back to New Jersey. Then I went to Dominican Republic again. Then I came to Florida, Tampa, basically, and then from Tampa I came here, and I've been here 2017.
But you moved with your parents. The whole family moved out from.
Well, yeah, they were always transitioning, either New York or Dominican Republic or.
Where are your parents now?
Well, my father passed away. My mom is in Tampa.
Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So you have family there.
I have family in the Dominican Republic. Not much though. Very late cousins.
And brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, you have.
Yeah. My sister lives in Tampa, and I have another brother. He's right now in I think it's in Qatar. Qatar.
Qatar.
Qatar.
He's in Qatar. He's in the Air Force. He's coming back. I think in June.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a devotee too. My father was a devotee. His name was Yayamada Madas. He used to mostly live in New York. He used to go to Canada all the time when he was younger though. I went when I was a kid. I don't remember much.
Where?
Remember we went. I know it was cold. That's what I remember.
Calgary? Is it Calgary?
No, it cannot be Calgary because Calgary is not cold. Calgary is there is no. The other day I comment on a video that Maharaj put on Instagram that is blowing and you see the smoke coming. And Maharaj said, no, this is not incense. This is cold.
Oh, I remember. I saw that, yeah.
Did you see that? Then I comment and I said, yes, Maharaj, as a matter of fact, in Toronto, you have what is called cold. But in Calgary, it's something that in the dictionary, there is no such a definition for what we experience, especially the past 2 weeks. It's just ridiculous. If you say cold, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It burns. I told you before, there is that fake ice, that chemical ice, that if you touch it, your hands, they get stuck on it. And you don't feel cold, it burns. So what we experience here is not cold. It's something that cannot be described. Calgary is the most crazy place on earth.
Maharaj said, I'm so surprised to hear that, but before you came on today, Maharaj said they got their first snow, I think a few days ago. I was surprised only now the snow they got,
Yeah. No,
I'm surprised it's so warm here.
Yeah, but look what happened in Texas.
No, Texas is freezing right now. They had never dealt with like snow before. Like, I mean, snow, yeah, but not that amount of snow.
And it's supposed to be south, I'm like wondering what the heck,
Well, so, I guess you can definitely show this weather to the to the global warming people who don't believe it. You know what I mean?
Very good observation. I also made that comment. I said, Maharaj, when they talk about global warming, they should come and spend a few days with us in the wild, wild west, because this is the west of Canada, which is the coldest place in Canada. So I said, these people that they believe in global warming, they should come and spend some time here and see what global warming every year is worse. And then I say, if it's true that there is a global warming, then it's everywhere else but in Calgary, except Calgary. You know, just ridiculous. But what global warming? Here, winter never ends. Actually speaking, here is always cold. Even in the summer, but in the morning, it's actually cold.
I don't know how you take the morning. Morning here, it is like a cold days in the morning. I'm like, oh my God. The sadhana in the morning, you know. I
But
don't
I
know
mean,
Wow.
July,
how Arjuna goes to and cooking in the morning when it's cold. We have cold days, right, Arjuna?
yeah, but of course,
It's not even that bad. Like,
but it's
I mean,
relative.
I like the cold.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Young,
that's
young,
good for
but
you.
yeah,
For your
wait until you turn 60, you know. I used to like
If I make it there, yeah.
but now anytime the temperature goes down, I'm shivering.
No, but it's true. I mean, what you're saying is all relative because you live in Florida that is so hot and humid that if a day it's a little bit cool, you say, oh, it's cold today, which basically is not. But
It's
then
all,
the body adapts to the place. Even somebody from Canada that, you know, now if I come to Florida, I can swim anywhere, even at 5 o'clock in the morning. If you take me in a lake, even if the lake is cold, I will jump in, no problem. But if I live in Florida for 1 or 2 years and my body adapts to that weather, then I will start to experience the cold that Prabhu was talking about. Because when I was in India, you know, and Mayapur is not so cold. Like Brindavan is really cold because it's in the north and it's closer to the Himalayas. But West Bengal is closer to the ocean. So it's highly humid. And when it's hot, it's really hot. Like Mayapur, we have 98% humidity.
yeah,
And
huge.
because we have so, but Florida also is pretty much like that, correct?
Yeah.
Well, Florida is hot, but not 98. Nothing compared to that.
Yeah, Mayapur, I remember going, I was just sweating like hell, you know.
Oh yeah.
They
I
told
was,
me in Mayapur, as soon as you take a shower, you walk outside and you sweat everything. It
yeah.
feels like
Oh,
you
he
already
Like,
wants
sweat.
you, my
no,
Yeah.
you sweating in the shower. As you take shower, you already, especially, you know, I went nuts. You know, I had to leave. I'm very, very sorry that I had to leave because I moved for good in 2003. I just quit everything. I closed even bank account, everything because I moved to Mayapur forever.
Yeah.
But after less than 5 years, I had to leave because I was constantly, believe me, I'm not joking.
No, I
For
believe.
8 months, 9 months, I was constantly 24/7 sweat. There
Wow.
was no, in the night, I was swimming in the mattress with my sweat. And imagine you get up in the morning, you are soaked. You take shower, and as soon as you finish shower, you're already sweating. So I developed all kind of prickly heat. My skin was full of pimples all over the body. I could not even touch my skin. I was suffering like anything.
Oh wow.
So I would say that although Canada is quite hellish and but you see, for my constitution, that's why
Krishna put you here.
as Ayurveda explains that we are all different individuals and all of us has to have even the diet tailored to our constitution. We cannot all eat the same. We cannot all live in the same place. So a cold place for somebody who has a constitution, a kapha, pitta especially. Pitta means like a steam, hot, you know. So India was really the wrong place for me. And Mayapur, of all India, is the worst because it's Bengal. It's a place that is close, is on the coast, and plus it's full of these artificial lakes. They are made because people, they are poor and they sell the soil to a construction company. And so they leave a huge hole in the ground. And then when it rains, it fills up with the water, and it stays as a lake forever. So Bengal is packed of all this, they call pond, pukur. In Bengali, they say pukur. And so that it also increases more the humidity. And plus Mayapur, it's a tiny little stretch of land in between two rivers. There's the Jalangi in the back, and in the front is the branch of the Ganges, which they call the Bhagirathi. And so you see, it's surrounded by water, and then the water in the middle. So the humidity is ridiculous.
So your body did not get used to it at all.
Never, never. Well, it's just like you don't get used to the cold, but I can survive in the cold.
Me
You
too.
know, I have the energy. So I think Canada is good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that extreme cold will be great, but I like it. I actually, I remember it was 20 degrees in New York when I was there, and I was in shorts, and I only had a light jacket, and it was all right for me. I was like, yeah, this is cool. But some people were like, you know, they were shivering, you know, and then it's fine. I get used to it.
Mm.
I haven't got used to this heat too much. I think maybe a little bit, but because I cook, Christian is probably, it's also you make extra heat, you know, because that kitchen is really small. That kitchen is like, let me see. Let's say it's not a commercial kitchen, and it's not it's like a kitchen for like a small preaching center. For like maybe you say you cook for like 20 people, that's the kitchen that we have. Yeah, but we cook for like 400. I cook for like 1,500 sometimes.
Wow.
Before COVID, in that same kitchen, so the heat doesn't go anywhere. But you know,
And you have air conditioning there?
no.
Oh no.
No.
Wow.
You wonder why Eli he cold now.
The
body is hot.
Say what?
Why no air condition?
I don't know. Like we talk already so much for them. They don't, you know, they don't want to pay for it. They say they're gonna build a new kitchen. You know where the office is?
Yeah.
They say they're gonna build a new kitchen there. We'll see what happens. But I mean, either way, I don't think I'll be able to do this pretty long. If my body keeps heating too much, this probably will be my last semester. Like I know Maharaj wants me to do this service because he said that now that I'm young, I can probably do it. But the problem is, if I'm gonna get worse and worse, there's no point in me doing it.
Yeah.
But you can ask them and say, listen, dear gentlemen, if you put the air condition, I might last another year or two.
They're not gonna do it.
You will not do it, even with the air condition.
No, they will not do it. I already know.
Well, then they prefer to get somebody else. And I don't think it. And I don't know if it's easy to find another one like you.
Yeah, Christian will send somebody else.
That's true.
You know, I used to think that, I can do it, probably nobody else will come, but somebody else will come. It's okay.
You know, Arjuna, I used to be on the board of the Krishna House. I used to be one of the board members.
Yeah.
Not anymore. But when Kalakanda Prabhu was the president, I was one of the board members.
Mm-hmm.
And because of my work, I could not attend the meetings, so I missed so many meetings, so they kicked me out.
Well, you tried.
My wife wanted me to go sit on the board there to do some service, so I just used to go there. And it was just it lasted probably a year or two, that's all.
Okay.
But that's before you came. It was when there was Jagannath, somebody else was there,
Yeah, there was a cook, they told me that he lasted like 7 years, I think.
Wow.
Before. But he didn't cook as much as we did. So it's okay. Krishna will send somebody else. Probably I'm thinking better than me anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not, you know.
I know they're gonna struggle probably. Whoever comes, I know it's gonna be painful or whatever, but it's okay. I know as we progress, the generation coming before us, it's definitely weaker and they complain more and they also are lazier. It will be tougher for them. I know that for sure. Because like somebody older than me, it's hard for them to do it because after 40 years, the body's like they probably want to rest more and more.
How old are you, Arjun?
36.
36? You don't look 36.
No, you don't look 36.
I always thought you were like a late 20s,
Yes, yeah, me too. I thought.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you. No, but I think I have good genes. Being vegetarian helps. Working out helps, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really intense, and the heat and all that boiling stuff. When imagine if outside is hot, inside is more hot because you have the pots boiling, and so the temperature inside it becomes really intense.
It's crazy. It's very crazy. But
that's news to me. I always thought there was air conditioning.
No, nothing. Like I went to Alaska and they have a massive kitchen, and I was like, whoa, but they don't cook nearly as much as we do. They cook for probably 100 people. I finished that like in probably an hour or 2 hours or so, but it's okay. That was before when they had Christmas lunch in Santa Fe.
If they would put the air condition, would you stay? Would you continue?
I don't think it's gonna. I mean, maybe yeah, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I know how they're very stubborn with things. So.
But can you just request?
I mean, it has to go through a process. It's like they had to talk to the president, this and that. And the thing is,
I think it's a financial money issue because of COVID, the number of plates they're distributing has gone down also.
And on top of that, there's not even doors there. So like there has to be a door for it to what is it called? There has to be a door outside and a door where the carts are. I don't think it'll work. In the kitchen, the problem is the kitchen is way too small. Like it's barely I barely fit in there. Like to me it's like there's no room for anything. So
I think just 2 or 3 people can start there, that's all.
Huh?
Only 2 or 3 people can start at one point.
Yeah, 3 people, it's already like the maximum that could be there. The problem is that when they first started doing Christmas lunch, it wasn't for many people. As they expanded, then they got this massive thing called brazier, and you cook like a lot of food in it. And then they got another one because it was just too much, But it's just big operation for small kitchen. That's all.
Have you cooked in the Alacho kitchen, Arjun?
Yeah. But the Alaska kitchen, like you can literally fit 50 people there and you still can be able to cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so big. There's people washing dishes, you can cook at the same time. There's people opening cans, no problem. People making preparation, no problem. Another person frying, you can cook something while somebody else fries. Yeah, I'm like, this is so easy. But it's not much, right? So it's okay.
In your case, you have to do one, finish that, and go to the next one by one. That's all, right?
Say what?
You cannot do so many things simultaneously, right? You have.
I can do. Before I didn't do it like that, but now I can. But I had to go.
Yeah.
I had to go. It's getting kind of late, and I had to do some things. But it's always a pleasure.
I know.
See you.
We're going to go Chandra here and take you for a visit one day.
Huh?
We're going to go to Chandra here and take you for a visit to Krishna.
Yeah. You should come sometime.
Yeah, we'll see. Now it's a joke. You cannot even travel. And if you go out of Canada, coming back, you have to stay in a hotel for 3 days and you pay $2,000. So on top of yes, this is the law in Canada now. So now, only people loaded with the money are traveling now.
Dirty politicians, that's what you get. Kali Yuga.
Yeah. Anyway, take it easy.
$2,000? Wow.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be a problem as soon as COVID came in, because I know COVID is true, this and that, but I know they're abusing their powers to do many disgusting things.
Oh yeah.
This is a time they can make money also,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they are very strict with people who have small businesses, but when they have their big rich millionaires like Amazon, they're getting a lot of money because they can just ship it to your home. You don't have to deal with anybody. So, it's just...
Actually, when you look at the country is based on small business, not
Yeah.
actually, mostly it's a small business the country economy is based on. But that's what they hurt in level. It's going to come back.
Yeah, they want to destroy the small businesses, because if you see like countries like Venezuela and Cuba, they're very big on communism or socialism. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but the problem with that is when the government takes too much power, then the people cannot do anything, because they have power to rule the school, they have power to rule whatever they want, army, school, police, anything they want. And when they have too much power, then you can't really say anything, because once the freedom of speech is gone, then you're screwed, because you can't really say anything. Everything is racist, everything is bad. And then on top of that, they can just say, oh, you cannot operate your business because of COVID. COVID this, COVID that, and then that's it. You lost your business. You don't have any money. You cannot sell anything. You cannot buy. You can just. That's it. You're broke, and then you're homeless. Next thing you know.
Oh yeah.
In Tampa, my brother lives in Tampa. So whenever we go to Tampa, there is a South Indian restaurant called Udupi in Tampa. We used to go.
Oh, I've been there. It's nice.
That closed for good because of COVID.
Yeah.
Man, that was a nice restaurant. They have big
place we ate from, because vegetarian, no one here garlic.
Yeah, and they have Krishna. They have Krishna there.
Arvind used to go there. Arvind likes that very much because he likes to go to Udupi. So my brother was saying, because of COVID, closed for good. Unbelievable,
Yeah, so many.
Nice place, spot also. It was on Dale Barbary, Dale Barbary. Sorry.
I remember, yeah. I used to go there when I used to live in Tampa. I used to love it.
To visit my brother, that was one of the things we always did. We'll go out and eat from there and spend some money and have a good time. The doshas and everything. And we'll bring some food home also, And because that we don't have to specially say it's purely vegetarian, South Indian would be,
Yeah, it was really good. I used to go with Jana. My wife, we also they have the best mango lassis.
Yes.
But now it's horrible. That's what I'm saying. When they have power to do anything, then that's it. You're screwed, because you can't really say anything. You say something, they say you're racist and you're wrong or whatever. But it's just Kali Yuga. That's all.
Yeah.
I was so disheartened to hear that. I'm like, oh my God, now I don't have even to go see my brother. I know that was one of the things. Okay, we can eat from Udupi. That was not to go see it.
Yeah, I don't know where else you can go. They have vegan restaurants, but they probably
but not like the Indian.
No, nothing like that.
Indian stuff,
It was great. I remember everything was really good.
Okay, Prabhu, you carry on.
Well, Hare Krishna. Have a great night. Thank you so much. This is really, really good. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Take it easy.
You guys too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What time is it there, Calgary?
Now is 5 o'clock.
Well, you guys are 2 hours behind, right? Okay.
Yeah, for you it's 7 o'clock, correct?
Almost 7, yeah.
Yeah. So exactly 2 hours. I see. That's why I think that Texas, they are in line with us, and that's why they got the cold. You are on the side You are 2 hours on the side, and that's why you didn't get the cold.
It takes about 2 hours to come.
It went straight from the north. But I remember when it started this Arctic, this polar cold that started to come down, then I heard that it was going down to Montana and gradually went through the Midwest. And then, you see, finally reached Texas. And over there, they're not prepared because
Yeah,
it's a hot country. It's a hot state.
yeah,
Not prepared. And the pipes, you
well,
see, huh?
definitely. And no power and no water. I was like, how can you do without water?
Yeah, it's tough. I
You do
mean, it's
without
cold.
power, but water, come on.
And it's cold. And these people, they don't have furnace. And even if they have a furnace, it's not working. And some people, they have a fireplace. But that's not enough to warm up the house. So they are freezing. No electricity, no
We
water.
have a fireplace, but when we go up, we have to put this artificial wood in there to burn. We go and sit, we had to sit near the fireplace to get the heat.
But you see, because another thing, because Texas is hot. So when they dig under the ground to put the pipes for water and gas, they didn't have to go so deep down. And that's why they get busted or they get frozen. But in Canada, although here they are prepared, so they dig, I don't know how many feet they go under the ground when they put the water, the line for the water and the gas. But even though once in a while you hear that there is a water problem in downtown, and when the water starts to come out, it freezes, everything freezes. And these guys, they're incredible. They're working out there at minus 20, minus 30 below, and they're working out there all night to try to repair the issue. I don't know, most probably I'm making at least $50 an hour. But still, I mean, it's not easy. Only certain people, they can do those jobs.
I know we have a well water and a pump, and so water from the well water to our house. So during when it's freezing here, a few days when it's freezing, I have to keep the water on dripping in my bathroom so that it does not freeze. It has
Oh,
frozen. One time when I want to go to work in the morning, there was no water, so we boiled some water, hot water, and go and pour it to the pipe too.
wow.
Just a small area. It's exposed outside.
So that means Florida also gets, it freezes, goes 0 degree, of course, not
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
sometimes it goes below zero.
That is really cold.
Yeah, but not minus 17 or
No,
8.
no, no, but in relation to the place,
Yeah,
a 0 degree in Florida, it's equal to a minus 20 in Canada.
yeah, that is true. Relatively, it is cold.
It's relative to a place that is so hot in the summer. So, 0 is really cold. And here, that is never hot in the summer, as I told you. So minus 20 for us is when it goes minus 30, and this year was ridiculous because it went minus 40.
Wow.
And somewhere else went minus 50. And with the wind here also, one night with the wind, it went to minus 50, yeah, something like that. And of course, in the north, every day they have minus 59. It's ridiculous. In that Nunavut, those places I don't know how humans they can live there. They go crazy.
When it's minus, at what point does any more minus does not make a big difference? At what point is that cutoff temperature? Like minus 20 or minus 40, do you see a big difference?
Oh yes, absolutely. Because first of all, let's say minus 15 is damn cold, but you can walk around if it's not windy. And but at minus 30, you already start to feel that the air in the nose, they are freezing. And so it gets difficult to breathe. At minus 40, it's just ridiculous. You cannot do anything. Because even if it's not windy, walking is practically impossible unless you are really equipped, that you have those goggles that covers you, totally, and then you cover everything. Like these people, there are people that they work. I met people that they used to work in the north to put the post, those huge posts for the electricity. And they used to work at -50 every day, and they were well equipped with all kind of stuff. And they imagine, I'm telling you, people that I spoke to Italian people that they came here in the 50s, and they did this job, let's say in the 60s and the 70s. In those days, they were making $100 an hour.
Yeah, they're well worth it.
But it was incredible. He said that one day he just had to open here to scratch his face, just the scratching. It was enough to get, because he still, after so many years, he had a round patch white on his face, and it was a frostbite. For just few seconds, the skin was exposed to the air, and they must have stuff, some mask for breathing, because the air is so cold that it's not good for the lungs. You breathing, and that's, I think, it's very easy to get a pneumonia. Not viral pneumonia, but a pneumonia due to breathing ice. I've seen people in Canada here that they go jogging at -20, and they feel like, you see them, they are proud because I'm jogging, but they don't realize actually it's not good.
Yeah,
Because
the cold air.
yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's really not good for the lungs. Maybe it's good for your legs or whatever, but you're breathing ice. And if they do that for a few years, and when they get old, if they get old, they cannot even breathe. Anyway, I told you, Maharaj always says, this is not a place for human beings.
If Maharaj is saying that it is very cold.
Yeah. Except Quebec, Ontario, and British Columbia. And so I'm in those cities, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. These are the places where you can survive, but except the prairies are the worst. And we are in the worst position because we are next to the Rocky Mountains. So in this place, you can experience 4 seasons in one day. It's just stupid. You get up in the morning and it's winter. Then the sun starts to warm up and it becomes spring. Then midday until 2 o'clock, it's summer because you can get it 30 degrees. And then as the sun goes down, you experience autumn, fall. And then in the night again, you can get them. So you can jump. I experienced myself jumping 40 degrees,
Yeah.
from -30 to a +10 in the same day. It's also because of the Rocky Mountains that, they go all the way to the south of the States. Sometimes we have hot winds in the middle of the winter because they are coming from Mexico through the Rocky Mountains, and this hot air comes up here, and we can have even in the month of January, and we got this year, a +13. And the next day, boom, that wind is finished, because it can last maybe 24 hours, sometimes 2 days, no more than that. So you have a +13 one day, and next day is -20. So your body has to adjust to go up to those +13, and then in few hours, down. 13 degrees plus another 20. So in few hours, your body goes through this shift of 33 degrees.
I don't know, your body cannot adjust that fast.
No, that's why, we are full of pain all over the body. Everything is not functioning properly, because.
But you guys are on Mountain Standard Time, right? Yeah, it's 2 hours behind us.
Yes.
Standard Time. Colorado is Mountain Standard.
Yes. And then the coast, they're another hour, an hour before us, just like California, Vancouver, British Columbia, they have the same time of California,
Yeah,
which is
3 hours.
Yeah. So for when Nitai Priya, I think, is she in Vancouver? I forgot to ask her.
I thought she was in Canada or US?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think in Canada.
Vancouver. Vancouver.
Yeah, she's Vancouver. She's from Calgary. She told me she was born in Calgary. But then she lives, because BC, the weather is much better. And they're on the coast. And up there, it doesn't snow very much. And it doesn't really get so cold like here, forget it. I think the coldest day they can get in Vancouver is a -10.
Wow.
But the problem is that over there, because they are close to the ocean, and so it's more humid. So I'm sure that they feel it really in the bones because it's humidity, and so increases the cold. Here is dry, and so that helps us a little bit, the dryness. Because if here was humid, then forget it. It was impossible. Only polar bears. But I always tell people, without the technology of a house built in a certain way, with the centralized heating, etc., with cars that you warm up, it's not possible to live here.
So how did people live in many years ago? I wonder.
Well, the natives, they were the original residents of Canada. They used to come here in the summer, hunting and so on. But as soon as the fall was coming and they would feel it, this is not possible, they would go down, towards well, in those days, they didn't have the border. So they would go in the northern part of the states, but it's not possible. How can you live in those, how they call those teepees, those tents, the natives, traditional, and then what can you do? You cannot cultivate. And actually, the natives, they didn't cultivate because they were hunters. They were eating only flesh. And but here, what do? You eat the snow, and how you warm it up? How can you? It's not possible. That's why nobody was living here. It is. I think life here became possible when they start to, build the houses with the insulation and with the central heating, with a furnace that heats up all the rooms. Like there in Florida, the air condition is localized to each room, or it's for all the house.
All house central.
Okay, so it's central. Yeah. So it's the same system, but of course, some people here, and I find it ridiculous. Some people here, they have air condition combined with a furnace because in the summer, say, oh, it's unbreathable, it's suffocating. I say, you must be joking. At 30 degrees, which is very rare, but even at 25, these people, they're already complaining it's very hot. And then they
25.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I said, I lived in India.
They have to go through it maximum for about 1 or 2 weeks, right? That's it.
I went through severe heat. I was in Vrindavan in the month of June, and unbelievable. It must have been 60 degrees. Because Vrindavan is tricky because it's very cold in the winter and very hot in the summer. Because it's in the north, so it's close to the Himalayas. And so it gets really cold in the winter. And then it gets that heat from the Rajasthan desert in the summer. And so it's burning, really burning. But at least it's dry. See, the difference with Mayapur is super humid. Vrindavan is super hot, but it's dry. And everything burns. I remember, whatever you touch, I was in the station in Mathura, waiting for the auto rickshaw to take me to Vrindavan. And I tried to sit on a bench, and I jumped up because the bench was so hot that I jumped. I got burned. Everything you touch, the walls, everything, it was so hot.
I know somebody sent me a picture of during summer, traffic light. It was all melted, melted traffic light.
Yeah. In New Delhi, I used to walk around with my chappals, and the chappals they was getting stuck into the when the asphalt,
Tar, yeah, they call
yeah,
tar.
with the heat, the tar, it was just getting stuck. And
Yeah, that has happened to me in Kerala also. So,
Kerala also, yeah. And Kerala again, better than me, that is humid.
oh yeah, Mayapur is more humid than Kerala.
More than, oh yes, absolutely. So it was the wrong place for me. But anyway, I don't regret it. It was a great
So how
experience.
does Vanipriya Mataji, how does she tolerate the cold? Because Odisha is kind of humid place, right?
Yeah, Orissa is more hot than Bengal. But the only thing is a little drier
So,
because Orissa is in
so how
between.
did she ever get used to cold there, right?
No,
In
never,
Calgary?
never. And when she go out, it looks like a bear. There's two coats, six pair of socks, three sweaters, three pants, and six pair of socks or whatever with boots. But I still cannot go out. Like sometimes I go out and I walk even a -30 if it's not windy. But she will not go because it's too much. She cannot do it.
If there's wind,
Oh, yeah,
forget
I
it.
also cannot go. If it's windy, even a slight wind, because think about it. If it's -30 and you just blow also with your mouth, that little blow becomes -30, 33 or 35. So imagine when a wind, even a mild wind, increases or decreases the temperature, and more is windy, and on the skin it feels. So -30 with a wind, moderate wind, it feels -40, and that's why you cannot do it anymore.
I hope I don't have to tolerate that even for 1 minute in this lifetime. I don't know next lifetime what.
No, it's not going to happen to you because
Because I have to definitely come there, but who knows next lifetime might be a polar bear because I'm associated with Gochandra Prabhu, you know.
no, you are a smart guy.
Say, okay, you know what? You spend time in Calgary.
You will not experience that because you are a smart guy. But the image and the voice is getting all scattered. I cannot hear you clear. Can you hear me?
I think see me or hear me.
No, before I could not hear you. Can you hear me?
Like, how let me see if I don't really know about my phone. I don't know about computer,
But can you hear me? Can you hear me clear?
but
But I cannot
can
hear
you hear
you.
me?
Yeah, but it's all scattered. It's like when Maharaj, remember, it's all scattered. Speak. Yeah, now you got blocked. I cannot hear you anymore.